GCSE mocks are fast approaching, and here's 5 things you can do to max out your results and achieve your full potential. Firstly, you need to understand the importance of your GCSE mocks. Most schools do mocks so that their students don't crumble under the pressure in summer exams. Mocks are also really important because they can help get your predicted grades to apply for different sixth forms and colleges. Another thing that's worth mentioning is if there is an issue in the summer where you can't sit exams, mocks can be useful for exam boards to give out results, like what happened during COVID-19. Another point on this is that some schools use mocks to identify the students that are falling behind, so you really don't want to be in the bottom section of the students. And if you are aiming for high grades in the summer, doing well in your mocks is really important because they have strong correlations. Okay, number 2, my advice is, if you've just done any end of year exams in year 10, all you need to do is choose the subjects that you did worse on and focus on them. Or any subjects that you did decently in, but you want to do much better in, put those at the top of your timetable. That leads me to point 3, so that's going to be to have a timetable. What you need to do is block off sections of your timetable, your rota, of when you're going to school, when you're doing sports, when you're sleeping, and you need to make sure you're doing a certain amount of studying hours per week. So I recommend at the moment at least 7 hours a week if you're aiming for top grades, and this can be all 7 hours on one day, or it would be more effective if you did 1 hour a day or shifted a bit depending on your timetable. Okay, point number 4, that's revision techniques. So you don't want to be spending loads of time revising and it actually being really ineffective. So what I'd recommend you doing is making flashcards using services like Quizlet and Anki, or even using physical flashcards now for as many of the subjects as you can. Also, do some past papers if you need to get the practice in, but you have to remember that most of your mock exams won't be full papers, so there will be questions in past papers that you won't be able to do. So for this, I'd recommend using services like Physics and Maths Tutor, where you can do topic-based papers, and this is really effective as you can find the topics you're worst at and practice them the most. And finally, point number 5, start early. Everyone says it, it's so true, you just have to start early, because if you want to get a certain grade in the exam, it means you have to have a certain amount of knowledge, and in order to get that knowledge into your brain, you need to do a certain amount of studying. And if you start early, it means you have to do less amount of studying each day compared to if you start later. So there you go, 5 hacks on how to do better in your mock exams.